What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July weekend and happy 4th of July Eve. Let's go through the schedule. There's no White House Press Briefing today, no KJP. I was wondering, but not today. Maybe we'll hear from them fools and ghouls out in DC tomorrow for Independence Day. Who knows? Maybe Independence Day is racist now. I don't know. You never know. We'll be starting off with a video titled How Elon Musk Picked a Fight with America. Bunch of super butthurt people about Twitter. Just can't make everyone happy. Can't make everyone happy. It reminds me of infighting. People looking for reasons to be upset. They're all mad at Elon because Elon's being attacked by hackers and AI. He had to do some limitations, and now everyone's turning their back on him. Sounds about right. Then we got a video titled, Even the Left Will Have to Face Up to the Consequences of This. Talking about France and what's going on over there. Maybe we'll be next. Maybe we'll be just like them, since we have an open border ourselves and we just let strangers come into the country by the thousands every day. Maybe we'll be next. We'll be just like France. Then we have a video titled Mass Shooting in Baltimore Kills 2 and Injures 28, which is interesting because while you're watching the video, it tells you that there's 30 people that are injured, not 28. But either way, there was a mass shooting in Baltimore. That'll be here and gone in a heartbeat. You won't hear about it next week because there's no white supreme pizza involved, but you know. Then we have a video titled Hotel Workers in Southern Cali Go on Strike. They're all upset in California. They're not making enough money. Then we have a video from Twitter that's titled The White House was temporarily evacuated on Sunday after DC fire hazmat found a substance that tested positive for cocaine hydrochloride near the West Wing. What's really interesting is that video is nowhere on YouTube. There is no videos about that on YouTube. There's a couple people talking about it, but there's no videos. But there's videos all over Twitter about it. I don't know. It's interesting how information is passed through these social media platforms. Then we'll be wrapping things up today with a video titled Trucking Lawsuit Threatens U.S. Economy. Our Industry Truly Moves America. Talking about the Yellow Trucking Company. Apparently they're under, I don't know if they're filing a lawsuit or if they're battling a lawsuit, but maybe we'll have shortages in the upcoming future. Hope not, but that's kind of what it's sounding like. Let's make sure all the chats are running. What's up, Cheeky Chops? You were first today. I appreciate you being here. What's up, Wet Blanket? Oh, my chat just refreshed. What's up, Wet Blanket? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Witchy12? What's up, Jeff Rowe? Happy Freedom, Hooligans. What's up, T. Lawton? What's up, Annette? What's up, Jason? What's up, F-Body Bill? What's up, Charles? Let's see. Charles says, Hunter dropped coke outside his dad's office. Yeah, that's what I said on Twitter. I was like, Hunter's at it again. Back when I was able to post. I can't post today. I don't know what's going on. What's up, Shannon? What's up, Ghost? What's up, Eagles RC? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Blue Crow? Happy Freedom, Hooligans. What's up, Animated Adventure? What's up, Sweet Tat? What's up, Daryl? What's up, Debacles? What's up, Ronald? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. What's up, Snooks? All right. Let's see. What's up, everyone on the secret YouTube channel? Appreciate you guys being here. Happy Freedom. And Twitch is running. What's up, everyone on Twitch? What's up, Tom Tom? Happy Freedom. Let's see. Tom Tom, still up north on my long weekend. Will you enjoy it? Heck yeah. Gotta take time to love yourself. What's up, everyone on Kick? Happy Freedom. Oh, Odyssey. Are we running? What's up, everyone on Odyssey? Happy Freedom. And it looks like we're running over on Rumble. Yes. What's up, everyone on Rumble? What's up, Astra Hammer? What's up, Rasta? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, everyone on jeffmaclive.com. Alright, we're going to start off with this first video titled How Elon Musk Picked a Fight with America. This is a video of butthurt people. Prepare yourself. Get some of that Bengay.
For Forget the fight with Mark Zuckerberg. Elon Musk just picked a fight with America. He's announcing temporary limitations on how many Twitter posts a user can see. The Twitter owner even requiring people to have an account to get access to the social media platform at all. He says it's all to combat the data mining of artificial intelligence. I'll have to take his word for it. He made the announcement Saturday after Twitter was plagued by widespread outages. Verified users now can see just 10,000 posts per day. But if you don't have that blue check mark that you have to pay for, you only get to see a tenth of that, 1,000. And newly created unverified accounts, well, they can only see, I think it's about 500. Listen, Raymond, I'll come to you on this first. This is my theory, okay? And I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's a shakedown. It's a shakedown to get people. He thinks we're so addicted to this.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Let me shake them down real quick. They'll all sign up for Twitter Blue.
Here's what's heartbreaking about it. Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, said, I am going to be the protector of free speech. Well, looking at
This guy looks like animatronic Pee Wee Herman.
James Madison on free speech, okay? He's completely controlling the speech. He's limiting not only what you can see, but who you can interact with and how much speech and conversation you can engage in. And I know my friend Tammy, her heart starts fluttering when Elon shows up. But this is very bad for his brand, terrible for his argument for buying Twitter, and I think breaks the heart of longtime Twitter users, except for Tammy Bruce.
Tammy, if you can hold it for 1 second, I'll let the good doctor
prosecution rest.
You have 1 second.
You know, my blue check mark went away with his program. I have yet to sign up, mainly just because I'm lazy. But I will tell you, if that is his ploy, is to get people to sign up, I just found myself checking Twitter less the last 24 hours. But I agree with Raymond. I think that if he was all about talking about free speech, and this is a way of kind of censoring and limiting what you can see. But, you know, he did warn us about Twitter censorship. That's why he bought it, and he was right about that. He's also been warning us about AI and the perils of that. And he's saying this has to do with data mining. I'm going to take him on his word. He says this is temporary. We'll see where it goes.
Tammy, you know, Raymond invokes Elon Musk, his argument when he bought Twitter about free speech, but he did say he was going to make it a solvent company, something that makes money.
That's right. And you guys just hate him because he's beautiful. That's the only reason you guys don't like him.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I was looking at this as well. And, you know, when you think the 6,000 or 8,000 or 10,000 posts can go by pretty quickly if you're a scroller, all right? So that matters. But the fact is, he says, and there was some downtime, that you've got nations who have groups of people, state-sponsored groups, that collect the data. So it's not just AI. It's a matter of bots that go in and scrape what you've written, scrape your details, and go. And this is why, whether you have a blue check or not, if you haven't paid, you had your say, sir.
All right.
I'm going to continue.
Pee Wee Herman's about to protest.
I mean, this is a man who, despite all the liars in our midst, has been pretty straightforward with things. He's a businessman first, and he knows it's affecting this particular platform. He also wants this platform to be what he says is the app for everything. So he imagines it expanding out to where you can buy things, and it is the chat, and it's all, and you can rent cars. I mean, it's whatever you'd want to have. But I think this is an important start. Trust him, and if he's wrong, then we would untrust him. I'm not saying forever.
Leader. Trust the dear leader. You're making my argument for me. James Madison didn't say just trust us. He said you be free.
You've got to for a minute.
Speech.
No. But there's a point where when you've got this business, you want it to be. You don't want it to crash every day because the Chinese bot farms are getting
the bots out. You don't hurt your consumers. The people who follow.
This is part of identifying those bots, and so I think that's part of the process. In the meantime, I have one thing to say. Elon,
I'm in the middle of this.
I'm telling you,
listen,
Elon, we will protect you. I will protect you from it.
The two of you can debate Elon in the green room.
Okay.
Doctor, back to you on this. This is kind of what I thought about it. This happened on a Saturday in the summer, on the 4th of July weekend. How much addiction should there be on social media? Like, it would be kind of nice if people didn't even notice because they were actually doing things with their family.
Well, that's Elon's argument.
I completely agree with you. And I'll be honest, it's nice. I am not a scroller, so I don't know how quickly it would go, but I know people who check their phones. I mean, if you look at the data, there are people who check their phones thousands of times a day, and it is taking away. That is why we are dealing with a lot of the mental health issues, because especially our younger people, they do not know how to interact with actual people.
I
They are
agree with
constantly on their devices. So you know what? This is Elon's plan. He's combating our mental health pandemic.
See,
he is the savior.
I already have.
He is the
But
savior.
when you're a journalist, and Elon said, and I quote, he wants Twitter to be the world's most accurate real-time information source. How do you do that when you're limiting what journalists can see, Elon? That undercuts your mission, undercuts the reason for the
temporary.
platform.
This guy's on the brink of screaming across the desk.
I'm trying to get you, America, the best information possible, and Elon Musk is blocking me from doing it. For shame.
Tammy, if it is temporary, doesn't that kind of substantiate the idea it's a shakedown? Like, let's get some folks.
No, I think that there are real technical elements about how do you identify the good actors and the bad actors,
bots, yeah.
right? And then because you don't want to just block whole swaths of people, but you've got to be able to identify them.
But wouldn't you know that the verified users who have been on for like 5 years, those are not going to be your bots that are just created by AI. I think there could have been a filtration system. They didn't have to limit everyone.
Shut everybody
The good
down.
thing
I
is
agree
he
with
keeps
you.
rationing it back up, and my addiction isn't as exposed at this point. I'm not getting told I can't get on there. So,
All right.
all right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Yes, well, it's crazy because half that discussion didn't make any sense. Elon's servers and stuff are being attacked. They're going through technical stuff. So they had to limit what everybody can do on there to try and, fix what's happening. And everybody comes up with all these conspiracy theories. Oh, this is only to make more money. This is limiting free speech. This is an attack on one side or the other. Or maybe he's just being attacked by hackers and other kinds of nonsense out there, just like everyone else. Everyone knows. Everybody's been going through it. Anytime you try and log on to an online game, you may encounter a message saying, hey, we're experiencing a DDoS attack or whatever it is. You may have to wait 45 minutes into the lobby before you can play the game or log into a website. This is happening all over the place. A lot of it has to do with AI coming to be so easily obtained. Anybody can access AI at this point, so including hackers and stuff. So he makes a public announcement, hey, we're experiencing technical difficulties. We're trying to fix it. Until we fix it, you're going to be limited to 6,000 tweets or 600 tweets, depending on if you got the blue check mark or not. And now people's just heads exploding. I'm on Twitter quite often, so I can know what's going on because Twitter knows before any other platform what's going on. And I don't think I pass 6,000 tweets in a day. I definitely don't tweet 6,000 tweets in a day. Now, I am having some sort of issue right now where I can't comment, I can't tweet. I don't even know if we're live on Twitter right now. My Twitter app just keeps crashing over and over again. I was able to post like 2 or 3 comments earlier today, but now it's just crashing. People are commenting under my posts, talking crap. I can't even write back to tell them how stupid they are because the app is crashing. But I haven't hit no 6,000 or even 600 tweets. People are crying over nothing. Just need a reason to cry. Almost everything in that whole video we just watched is completely irrelevant and just theory of why they think the restrictions are happening right now. God forbid he tries to fix the platform. Oh no. People always got to cry about stuff, and it's irritating to me because I've experienced it myself, having technical difficulties, and then everybody just shows up and shits all over me when I'm trying to fix it. Like, I'm trying, but there's nothing more I can do than try, and that's what that feels like with that situation. He's trying to fix it, and everybody's all mad, and it's his fault that he's being attacked, and I don't know. People are so stupid. So stupid. I can't handle it. Charles, Twitter's down in many places. Yeah, that's what I was hearing before he put the limitations on, and now people aren't even focusing on the outages that are happening because of the attack. They're just focusing on him limiting you to 6,000 tweets. I mean, I guess you deserve more than 6,000 tweets from idiots sitting behind their phones and computers talking crap. Bunch of nonsense. What's up, Captain Seamus? Happy freedom. Let's see. Get some J. Twitter goes down a lot. I should have married Twitter instead. You crack me up, get some J. I'm saying. Let's see. Dominic, I can't get into internet arguments now because I have limited responses. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. Danette, my internet was out this morning. Sometimes I wish my internet was out when I woke up. A lot of times I wake up and I go through all my messages and stuff, but then I scroll through social media just to see if the world's burning or not, and more times it is than isn't. But then I feel like upset about everything. I need to stop checking my phone when I wake up. Let's see. Guess some Jay, you crack me up. Blue Moon, Trump's back on Twitter, is rumored on the internet. His account was given back. I haven't heard of him using it yet. I think he used his Instagram, and I think he's used his Facebook in the last couple months. But it was like promotion for something upcoming. I haven't seen him on Twitter, though. Guess MJ, AI is Old Man Walter's biggest voter base. I believe it. I believe it. Jeffro, reporters should report on real life and not news from Twitter anyway. They should. They should, but then how can they brainwash people and tell them what to think and not think? Because people only see what's trending and they hold on to it and tell all their buddies what's trending. Because you're going to see the same post over and over again from millions of accounts. So the news grabs that information and they tell you how you should feel about it, what you should think about it, how you should spend your money now that this is happening. And so that's why they focus on it. Danette, he must be making tons of money off his Twitter account. Oh, I'm sure he is. They got that subscription service so you can subscribe to an account and pay like a fee every month. And he has that on his account. And he has a ton of people subscribe to him. Let me see. I'll look it up really quick if it don't crash on me. I don't know if it's crashing on the computer, but it is on my phone. I know that. Elon, he has 94 subscribers. So if each of them were paying $10 or something like that, I mean, he'd be making pretty good money every month. What's up, Liberty Sweetheart? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Life Like? What's up, Mr. Average? What's up, Kevin? Appreciate you guys coming in today. What's up, Bagpiper? Sweet Tat. So these people don't even pay for the blue. No. All the people who are on TV and stuff, they get that blue check mark for free, so they get to see 6,000 tweets, and they're mad that they only get to see 6,000 of them. Debacles, who does 10,000 tweets a day? I don't know. Mad people, trolls. That's all I can think of is mad people and trolls, because I don't. Half the time I'm trolling under comments, and I don't even post that much, so I don't know. What's up, Soul For Real? Happy Freedom. Annette, never went to Twitter, so who cares? Yeah, I only use Twitter because it's the most active social media platform, so if I want to know what's going on, I gotta go to Twitter. Everything else is censored anyway, so if there's something really spicy going on, you'll never see it on YouTube. It'll be, censored. Facebook is the same way. Nobody cares about Instagram unless you're like 20 years old and selling feet pics. So you gotta kind of resort to Twitter. Everything on True Social is basically just regurgitated Twitter. Gab is all over the place for information you might find. Getter is kind of like True Social. It's a lot of regurgitated stuff from Twitter. Everything on YouTube Shorts is from TikTok 6 months ago. So everything on YouTube Shorts is old information or manipulated information from old information. TikTok is right under Twitter. Twitter is the leading of information. Everything hits Twitter first, then it hits TikTok. Sometimes you'll have different information between the two platforms. Every other platform after that is just getting recycled information from those top two. It's the way it goes. At least right now. That's how it is right now. Tim, bot accounts. Yeah. That's hitting the nail right on the head, right? Bot accounts need more than 6,000 tweets a day because they're bot accounts. So I guess that's who's mad, be the bots. Let's see. Captain Seamus, I'll have to check it out. Kevin, you're a Twitter troll? You never post? Yeah. I've been hearing that famous people make second accounts and they'll make a post with their main account and then they'll take their second account and write hateful stuff under their own posts. So trolls will get in there and start messing with the algorithm, start engaging and stuff so they can argue in the comment section. Social media is so fake. Cash flow. So Twitter's being hacked. So, I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. Danette, on Twitter, you're more than likely arguing with a bot or a paid loser. Yeah. Almost everything I say on Twitter, somebody gets underneath and disagrees. Almost every single time. And be like, leave the kids alone. And there'll be 32 comments of why that's a bigot statement, or that's a terrible thing to say, or of course somebody like me would say something like that. There's always somebody that is contrary to anything I'm saying. Let's see. And then I'll stick to True Social. Yeah, I just wish True Social would get up in the ranks there. You don't ever hear breaking news or anything really cool going on True Social. Like, True Social is cool to know what's going on with Trump, because it's the only place where he can speak openly. But other than that, I don't really have a use for True Social. Not until more people get on there. Tom, Facebook's the same way. Yeah, I barely mess with Facebook at all. Facebook is like year-old content, like year, 2 year, 3. You still see people wearing compliance cloths in half the videos on Facebook because the content's old. It just trickled down and eventually hit Facebook. Facebook is like MySpace. They're on their way out the door. Let's see. Captain Seamus, no way they could do that to you. Yeah, they do. Always. They always gotta contradict everything I say, especially if I'm talking about guns and why it's important for us to keep our guns and our Second Amendment and our free speech, which Michigan just forfeited. Remember, if you're in Michigan, you see me in the streets, it's Your Majesty, or else you'll go do 5 years in prison. I mean, that's the game. You gotta learn the rules of the game. So if you're in Michigan, go ahead and come up with your pronouns now. And anytime somebody calls you out your name, bam, there's 5 years in prison for that person. It's a slippery slope when you start challenging free speech. We're going to see how long that lasts here in Michigan. I think there's going to be lawsuits. I think there's going to be people who are going to go to prison for mispronouncing somebody. And then after a year or two, the Supreme Court will get a hold of this nonsense. They'll strike it down because it's unconstitutionally against free speech. And then those people who were wrongly incarcerated over free speech, well, then should have major lawsuits after that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Michigan sucks right now, though, unfortunately. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. Faded. I get my breaking news from Poop on Gilded. Yep, that's true. Who threw his? He's quick on providing news over in the news board. If you guys aren't a part of Gilded, you should definitely join up. It's free. Let's see. Jeff Rowe. I had Twitter, but I never really became a Birdie user. Facebook is where I gravitated after MySpace. Same thing. I went from MySpace to Facebook, and then Twitter came out, and I was like, why go there? It's like Facebook without videos, because at the time it was just comments or just posts. There was no videos. And so I was like, why would I go there? But now that Elon has it, I've used it way more than I have ever before. Tom Starr, heard about the new law in Michigan. Yeah. Ever since it was introduced, I've been talking about it, and then the House just passed it. They hate free speech here, I guess. But that's not really anything new. When the plague was going around and all of us were locked in our house, the governor said that if you were providing misinformation, they would send the state police after you. Now, I never heard of anyone actually being encountered by state police at their house because they posted something on the internet that was contrary to what the news was saying. But that's what the governor threatened us with. So she's been, trying to demonize free speech even before we brought her back into office, which I don't know why people did that other than Tudor Dixon being hated on for saying no curing yourself of pregnancy under any circumstance. Even if you were victimized in one way or another, you still would not be able to cure yourself of pregnancy. And because of that, they demonized Tudor Dixon. We ended up with Whitmer again, and now here we are with banned free speech. Woo, good job, idiots. I don't know, people kill me. The stupidity is everywhere. I'm drowning in it. What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom. Charles, the law is seditious and treason. I think so too. Guess I'm Jay. We need a Jeff book. We have that. You got to go to jeffmaclive.com. We have our own social media. We got all kinds of stuff. We got all the good stuff. It's like all the platforms mixed into one. What's up, God Rides a Harley? Happy freedom. Watchman wanted to be VP. Yep. That's why Whitmer does what she does. It's because she will do anything to put a smile on old man Walter's face. She wants to be just like him. When the plague was going on, everything he was talking about implementing, she would implement the next day. Like, we were in lockdown. We were just one step from being in a green zone the whole time the plague was going on. Whitmer she can't stand us. She wants Americans in body bags. She's a terrible person. What's up, Melvita? Happy freedom. Flipping through chat really quick before we move forward. What's up, We Can Be Free? Appreciate you being here. Let's see. I am trying really hard to understand what you're saying here. We Can Be Free. I don't know anything about the UK. I don't hear about the news in the UK or anything like that. What's up, Cecil? Happy freedom. What's up, Larry? What's up, 1111? What's up, Andrew? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Peyton? What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? What's up, Red Wagon? Happy freedom. Mr. Beansy Beans, I got my truck stolen yesterday. It's no good. That is no good. Hopefully the police find it. You filed a police report, right? I mean, I'm sure you did. Who wants to get their truck stolen? That sucks. What's up, Breezy? Happy freedom. What's up, Whistler's wife? What's up, Nobody's Fault? Appreciate all you guys being here. It's starting to get hot. It wasn't so bad earlier. Now it's starting to get hot out. All the tourists left. It was really crazy over the weekend, but now it's quiet. Maybe it'll be a quiet 4th tomorrow. What's up, Donna Sparks? Happy freedom. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to move on to this next video titled, Even the Left Will Have to Face Up to the Consequences of This. Talking about France and how they let in people from outside, and now their country's on fire. And this guy saw it coming back in, I think he says 2017. It's going to be us next. We don't fix that border issue, this is going to be us. All right, let's get it started.
Back, more than 700 arrested during a violent weekend in France. Protesters raging over the police-involved shooting death of a 17-year-old. French police unions making their message clear, saying, quote, in the face of these savage hordes, calling for calm is not enough. All the options must be put in place to reinstate the law of the state. Our next guest predicted this kind of turmoil in Europe. Fox News contributor Douglas Murray is here to explain. Douglas, you wrote a book about this.
Yes, in 2017 I wrote a book called The Strange Death of Europe about the immigration crisis in Europe, the lack of integration, and all the problems you could already see coming. We'd actually seen disturbances similar to this, not as bad as this, in 2005 in the suburbs of Paris. But what we've seen in recent days is a whole new order, even for France, of disturbance.
And you're saying that based on the I guess, intelligent assumption that these riots are not based on this person's death.
No, I mean, as in 2005, it's a trigger. But as in riots we've had in the US, there is no reason if in this case, 17-year-old is shot dead by a policeman whilst he's joyriding in the early hours of the morning near a primary school. There's no reason to, as a result, go and, break the windows and steal handbags from Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
There is no clear line there at all. What there is, and this has been the case for decades now in France, is a simmering resentment among the very large immigrant communities who believe that they are owed more than the state gives them, who believe that there is police racism, who believe that they are treated in some way as second-class citizens. Of course, the irony in all of this is so much of North Africa and sub-Saharan Africa risk their lives trying to break into France illegally. And then so many of them, once there, say this is an unfair country. There's something there that doesn't compute.
You know, there's not a direct overlay here, but for me and our audience, I want to know, is there anything to be learned from or gleaned from this when looking at things like the civil unrest in our own country or the border in our country?
Several things. One is, of course, all sorts of other groups jump in and try to help the unrest get fueled once it begins, and that's definitely happening in France, as it happened here in the US. I think that the bigger lesson, the deeper lesson, the thing I tried to address in The Strange Death of Europe was a lesson which every developed country needs to think through, which is there are consequences to being lax about your border and immigration and integration policies. There just are consequences from it. People hate saying that. Immigration in particular is such an easy thing to just kick down the road. We've seen that repeatedly in America. It's so much easier to just let your successors deal with all of the illegals who come in. It's so much easier, you know, the human rights groups and others all criticize you if you have strong border policies, and so it's so easy to just resist it. But as we're seeing in France, there is a cost. There is a cost down the road to having hundreds of thousands, in the case of France, millions of people who feel no allegiance to the state that they're in, and frankly, in the end, don't mind and in fact enjoy it when they start to burn the place down.
And I guess that's my last question here. Does France have the kind of political left and political right, one kind of taking advantage and the other one calling out the way that we do with some of these issues in our country?
To some extent, it's a similar debate. France, interestingly enough, they've been through so much hell in recent years. I'm thinking of things like the Bataclan attacks, the mass terrorist attacks in Paris, the killing of, assassination of a priest at the altar, and the assassination of all the most prominent secularists in the country. They've been through so much that even the left in France realizes there's a problem. And that's a lesson for America as well. You can talk the talk on a sweet open borders immigration thing, but one day even the left has to face up to the consequences.
And again, what's the name of the book?
It's The Strange Death of Europe, and it came out in 2017, and I wish it wasn't so prescient.
I'll have to do some homework. I want to learn more about this. Douglas Murray, thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure.
Yes, sir.
I'm Steve.
Well, that could be us. That could be us in the near future. Have that open border, randos coming across. You don't know where they're from or who they are or what they're here for. They just walk straight across, no big deal. Get enough of them here, it won't even be America anymore. Turn this place into Mad Max land. Could be us next. Thank you so much, Tumbleweed, for gifting 5 memberships over on YouTube. I appreciate you, Tumbleweed. Thank you. If you guys grab one of those memberships, make sure you thank Tumbleweed. That stuff is not free. Oh, what is your name? We'll go with Tease. Yeah, it's all part of the plan. That's all this stuff is like that. It's all part of the agenda. I found out that you can't talk about this stuff on YouTube. If you say what the NWO is out loud, if you say it, not the acronym, you'll get a big blue box underneath your video telling everyone that you're a conspiracy theorist. That's a new thing. I've come across a couple of videos that have that now. Finn, too many people doing this. Yep. Well, the softies out there, they like it. They want them open borders and stuff. They think everybody should have free stuff. Free money, free housing, free access to the country, free to do whatever they want to their kids or even your kids, because they're just completely out of their mind. And anybody who stands against it, well, you're a racist or a bigot or a terrible person. That's the way it goes. Spirit Matter, come on, Jeff. All those doctors and engineers are coming across the border to help us. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure. Tabacales, it could have been us, but Hillary didn't win. Yep. True story. There's still time. Judo, you can't say NWO. What if you're talking about wrestling? You can say the acronym. You can't say what the acronym stands for. Well, you can, but then you're going to get shadow banned. You may get a strike. They may just delete your channel. It's hard to say. It must be true. It must be true. Anything, when you're talking about stuff that is real life stuff, like things that are actually happening, even though it sounds totally crazy, they'll put that big blue banner underneath your video or they'll pull you down. Thank you so much, Snooks, for gifting 10 memberships on YouTube. I appreciate everything you do, Snooks. Thank you. Let's see. 24/7 conspiracy theorists are just a conspiracy theory. I agree. I spent the last 2 years saying not all conspiracies are just a theory. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you, Spirit Matter. Judo, happy July 3rd. Happy Freedom Month. Thanks so much, Kevin, for continuing the membership program for 30 months. You're officially a hooligan. And I appreciate you. Thank you. That's awesome. 30 months. What's up, Trigger Crazy? Happy Freedom. Trigger Crazy heard me talking about bigots. He was like, oh, they called my name. Present. I'm here. I appreciate you, Trigger Crazy. Swollen, nasty, wilted ovaries. I don't know what we're talking about. Hillary? Is that what we're talking about? That's rough stuff. Or Gretchen Whitmer? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Tease over the target, you get banned. It's true. Oh, it's so true. I've experienced it many times. Many times. Let's see. What's up, CB? Happy Freedom. Cash flow, I feel the same way. I don't know if things are going to change, but it is nice to be out of June. That's unfortunate to say, because June is supposed to be Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but we were the only ones celebrating that. Happy Freedom Month, Wet Blanket. Appreciate you. John, conspiracy analysis. There you go. Yep, that's what we got to move towards. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Real Redhead from New York. Appreciate you hanging out with us for so long. (11:11) If you can imagine a revolutionary revolt had occurred in France, I'm sure French paramilitary would be active in controlling the crowd. Seems like French Antifa at work. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's so much propaganda about the whole riots in France thing. I keep seeing people talking about how supposedly, oh my God, what is their person's name? It's not a president. What is he, a prime minister or something like that? Macaro or I don't know his name. The guy that runs France, they keep saying that he's going to shut off social media so people can't communicate. I don't know if that's true or not. There's a lot of stuff saying that is not true, that is false statements that never occurred. Macron, is that what it is? I'm seeing a lot of information saying that's not true at all. But in Egypt, they did the same thing for their revolution. They shut off social media, and Anonymous somehow provided the people with, they didn't provide it, they kind of put spotlight on using WikiLeaks, using that, opening a document and then writing like you're providing information on a topic, but instead the Egyptian people, the locals, were using it to communicate. So somebody would write a sentence and then somebody else would provide the second sentence, and they were communicating using documents for Wikipedia, not WikiLeaks, that's something else, for Wikipedia. So they were using Wikipedia to communicate with each other and organize in their version of Town Square, and it actually ended up being their revolution. I had to study it when I was in college, which I thought that was really crazy because I always thought Anonymous was just fake. And then all of a sudden we had to study it in school, and that's who actually helped them do their Egyptian revolution. And so I was thinking, if Macron or whatever really did, temporarily ban social media to prevent communication because of the riots, some big thing like that could happen. They could have a revolution over there. Some people are saying it's just like Civil War, people shooting each other in the streets and stuff. But it's hard to tell because I don't live over there, and you can't tell what's propaganda and what's not. And then there is people providing fake videos and stuff that's not even in that area of the world, and then they'll put a video up and they'll put some sort of context around it, a caption that's not real, and then everyone believes it and shares it 100 million times, and then it's, you know, propaganda. And that macaroni, yeah, that's what he is. He was out there, him and his wife were like getting down on a yacht or something. They were partying while their country's on fire. What's up, Robert? Happy freedom. Snooks, he's called Macaroon. Yep. Patriots Arc, same thing happened to the Chinese people in Hong Kong, I believe. Complete blackout. Yeah, weren't they doing protests against the plague restrictions or something like that? And, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was like a couple months ago. They were out in the streets and they were protesting it, and then it just all went away. It just all disappeared and people stopped talking about it. John Costello, no way it's Antifa. I don't know why I keep saying on. It's Antifa. You guys throwing me off with your lingo. I see what you're doing, but my brain's not converting it fast enough. No way it's Antifa. The protesters are using RPGs and weapons like they're in the blue and yellow country. Yeah, that's what I keep seeing too. Belt-fed machine guns and stuff. You don't even see that stuff here. How are they getting it? Let's see. Charles, 4 streams last night. No one was burning anything that I seen. Well, you got to make sure that when you're watching people live streaming and stuff that it's real, because there's so many people faking live streams. When the protests were going on, it was like that left and right. I'd have 100 people tag me in a video that was weeks old that we covered live, and this person's out there saying it's live right now, and it's not. And it causes a lot of issues because it's hard to tell if a live stream is real or not if you haven't been keeping up with it every day. Patriots Arc, I think it was the CCP overtaking the private sectors. Yeah. CCP is taking over everything. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom. Mark, you think you went to an Elton John concert? I don't know. I just seen a video of Macaroni and his wife dancing, partying it up while his country's on fire. Antifa. I sound like Project Pat the way that I say it, like 3-6 Mafia. Mr. Beansy Beans, I named this holiday as July as America's Month. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Beansy Beans, for the bits. I appreciate the support. Thank you, Mr. Beansy Beans. Let's see. Making our way to the next video. What's up, Nefties? What's up, Mushroom Dancer? Happy freedom. Mushroom Dancer, Elon is low-key protecting our country when folks only think about their tweets. Yeah. Because that's how people are. They're quick to jump to conclusions, and they're overly selfish. Let's see. Astral Hammer, and in Michigan, rhinos withheld support for Tudor. They were way less right-leaning voters turned out for 22 than 20. Fun stuff, yeah. There was a lot of people that did not support Tudor Dixon. But it's just because of the whole curing yourself of pregnancy thing. That's where she shot herself in the foot. I think she was a little bit too broad with her statement. And then they made a bunch of... Whitmer's campaign team did a whole bunch of advertisements and stuff. Where the advertisement, instead of saying what Whitmer was going to do to make Michigan a better place, all they did is pull down on Tudor Dixon. Let's see. Astral Hammer, Tudor Dixon destroyed Whitmer in the debates. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, she did. So we're going to move on to this next video titled Mass Shooting in Baltimore Kills 2 and Injures 28. Like I said before, there's no white supreme pizza involved. So, you know, you probably won't even hear about this happening by tomorrow. This video is almost 6 minutes long, but we're going to watch the first 2.5 minutes of it because at a certain point, this guy steps up to speak and he thinks he's given an I have a dream speech. And And he goes on and on and on and on, and he doesn't provide any actual information. He's just tugging on heartstrings for people that care about what he's saying. So we're not going to listen to that part. We're just here for the steak and potatoes. We're not here for all the fat. We're cutting the fat off. Let's get her started.
Good morning and welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I do want to get back to some of that breaking news we are following. Around 30 people shot in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's get into what we know at this time. Like I said, this happened in Baltimore, Maryland. This occurred early this morning and left dozens of people wounded and multiple fatalities reported. The incident happened during a gathering in the Brooklyn Homes section of South Baltimore. That's according to police. Police officers and medical personnel responded to the scene of the 800 block of Gretna Avenue around 12:30 this morning. And that's according to Acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Rich Worley. He said this in a news conference. He went on to add that 30 people were shot, including 3 victims who are in critical condition, and 2 were left dead. Now a suspect who has not been taken into custody opened fire during a block party. That's according to police. Some victims were transported to the hospital by emergency personnel there, while others self-transported to the hospital. Witnesses told Fox 45 Baltimore they heard around 20 to 30 shots fired. One witness said they just kept going off. Now this incident remains under investigation and police are looking for any information that can be provided. This is, of course, a developing story. We'll keep you updated as we do learn more information, but we did get an update from officials there on the ground. Here are the latest updates.
Good morning. Just after 12:30 a.m. this morning, officers received numerous calls for a shooting at 800 Gretna Court. Upon officers' arrival, we located multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. We located one female adult deceased on the scene. 9 additional victims were transported from the location to area hospitals. Additionally, we had 20 other victims walk into hospitals throughout the region. Our detectives are currently working an extensive crime scene. The 2 deceased victims we have are both adults. We have 3 other victims who are in critical condition. Our hearts and prayers are going out to the families, sending out to the families and friends of these victims, as well as the community and our entire city. This is an extensive crime scene. Our detectives are going to be here quite a while. If anyone saw anything or knows anything, please call 911 or call local Metro Crime Stoppers, 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. We have members of our fire department, Officer Emergency Management, as well as other jurisdictions working with us to try to determine a motive. Again, please call 1-866-7-LOCK-UP, and at this time I'll turn it over to Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, whoever that is, we're not listening to that nonsense. He needs like a soapbox at a BLM protest. He's just talking a bunch of nonsense. The next guy that was going to speak is who I'm talking about. That's why we just cut that off. 30 people shot at a block party. No white supreme pizza involved. 2 have been killed. 3 in critical condition. It's no good. It's no good. Patriots Arc, don't go to block parties. Good life choices. Yeah. That's why I don't go to parties or bars in general. Nothing good ever happens there. Ever. I mean, maybe it's different if you're a woman, you know, you might get free drinks, you might get to dance. If you're a dude, you're looking at fist fights, bar fights, getting jumped, getting stabbed, getting shot. That's about it. There isn't really anything else. I never go to the bar. I don't never go anywhere where there's going to be drunk people because it just never ends well. It never does. It's no good. William, they'll blame the gun. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. And they'll say it's white supreme pizza. They gotta give it a week, though. They gotta wait for everyone to forget all the facts. And they're gonna be like, yeah, it's like that mass shooting in Baltimore where it killed 300 people and it was all about white supreme pizza. They all had AR-15s just hanging out of their holes everywhere and they were ready to go. I think they had Trump hats. Like, that's what they're gonna say. You just give it time. Give it time. Cash flow, there's an agenda for all these shootings. Yep, absolutely. Sarah, I think it was Tumbleweed. It was either Tumbleweed or Snooks. Those are the hooligans that gifted subs or memberships today, because they're awesome. Shaggy, it's cheaper to party at home anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Go to the bar and pay $3, $4, $5 a drink, or you can go to the store and pay $8 and have the whole bottle. I was like, I don't know, it's not worth it. Better music at home. Write your own rules. They can't cut you off at the bar. If you fall off your bar stool, well, it's your bar stool. It's just better to do it at the house. Patriots are very true. Dudes asking for drama all the time. I can't be in a bar 5 minutes without somebody being like, what are you looking at? Your ugly face, I guess. Smelling your stinking breath. You better go sit down somewhere unless you want to be in the wheelchair the rest of your life. Jesus loves us. I try to be a nice guy. I just don't like being attacked. And I think most people, can agree with that. Happy Freedom Month, Sarah. Appreciate you being here. Dominic, rock concerts are where I party. Certain types of elements aren't at Megadeth concerts. Yeah, it's usually cool to go to concerts. They got security. They keep an eye out for stuff going on. Captain, then you got to stumble home. Yeah, that's true too. That's the other thing. You go to the bar, you go stuff like that, and you got to figure out how you're going to get home. That's no fun. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy Freedom. I'm looking at you, hooligan. Donna, nothing good happens after midnight. I say that all the time. That's how I know I'm getting old. Nothing good happens after midnight. It's true. When you're young, you think, nah, all the good stuff happens after midnight. Get your head caved in, or you get arrested enough times. Nah, nothing good happens after midnight. I don't know how to say your name. I don't know why you guys make your names things that cannot be said out loud without causing my furniture to levitate and cast spells. I don't understand. Come on, Jeff, show the gun MK Ultra speech. No. Can't show any MK Ultra stuff. We're going to end up with blue banners under my videos and another 3 months of being shadow banned. They took, I think, 2,500 subscribers from me for that last strike. And I got the strike for showing MTG on her YouTube video. Her stuff didn't get pulled down, but mine did. I was suffering hard since like October. Ah, man, it's been longer than 3 months. It's been a minute. We just came out of it. Can't show no MK Ultra videos. Not on YouTube, we can't. Let's see. Robert, 9th Circuit Court ruled against the law banning recording in the state of Oregon. Portland protest vids returning soon. That's crazy. They might as well just start teaching us all to speak Chinese. I'm gonna have to brush up on my Mandarin, I guess. Because we're pretty much in a communist country. We're like falling over the edge here. We're getting there. Kevin, demons walk around between 12 and 4 a.m. Any smart person would be in bed by then. I mean, we always just called them. But, I mean, yeah, a demon's a demon. Just flip it through the chats really quick before we move to the next video. We can be free. We all know MK happens. Yep. Brainwashing has been going on for years. TMWT, is Biden kicked the bucket? No, I did. Okay, so I seen a video showing what looks like a body bag being hauled out the front doors of the White House, and everybody's like, oh man, I think old man Walter actually kicked the bucket. But a lot of people are saying that it's a buffet cart that just has some sort of tablecloth over the top of it. But there's a lot of people passing that around saying, oh man, Walter really kicked the bucket. I don't think he did. I think the real one's been gone for a while, but we're on clone number 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure he's still kicking. Mr. Beans, yeah, you're true. I can't say most of that out loud, but yep, you're on it today. Meister, that was last year. See, that's what I'm saying. So much propaganda going on. Happy Freedom Meister. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Serum? Happy Freedom. Alright, we're going to move on to this next video titled Hotel Workers in Southern Cali Go on Strike. Are those writers still on strike? Because I haven't heard anything about that. Not in a couple weeks now. The writers for TV shows or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. We covered it like 2 or 3 times in New York and Hollywood. Haven't heard anything about it in a while. Alright, let's get her started, hooligans. On strike in California. I don't know how much those people make. It's kind of hard to say what the right answer is. I know when I was working in that factory making car parts, I was getting just somewhere near $15 an hour. I was working 60 hours a week, and I could barely afford rent, and I was having to buy groceries on credit cards. So I understand that most people, even working full-time plus, are still not able to pay to live. They can't afford to live because we don't get to choose what our rent is and stuff like that. So I could understand that. But at a certain point, you got to try and strive for higher goals. There's always a way to make more money. So I don't know. I'm kind of in between on this. But living in a state like Michigan where you have at-will employment, being on strike doesn't do anything. You have to have a union. You have to have a union. So if you work at Myers, something like that, you're part of a union. But most places here are not unionized. So if you go on strike, well, you're now unemployed. And that's all there is to it. So I don't know what striking actually does or if it does anything. I think it used to do stuff, but I don't know. It's hard to say. And I know nothing good comes out of California, unfortunately. Let's see. Be a blessing. They give you enough to keep you broke. That's what it seems like. Patriots Arc Teamsters. Yeah, I don't really know what that is, but I want to say that's the same kind of union stuff they have at Meijer. I worked at Meijer for 2 months, something like that. I don't know. I was young, and they had a waiting period, so I've never been a part of a union. Anytime I've worked at a place where they had unions, the people who were already hired in and a part of the union were upset. They said after you pay your union dues and all that, you make less than the people who are not a part of a union. But I guess they can't just outright fire you for no reason. So, I mean, I guess that's a plus. Patriots Arc, you crack me up. Shaggy, bring Trump back. We had options. Yep. I see so many videos of people who hate Trump, and they don't even know why. Not at all. I posted a video in Gilded yesterday, I think, where this guy just interviewed some random people on the street. It was like, Trump or Old Man Walter? And they were like, well, not Trump. And he was like, well, why? And they were like, don't you watch the news? Like, that was their reply. Like, what do you mean? You can't think for yourself? You got to do what the news tells you? People hate Trump, and they don't even know why they hate Trump. Patriots Arc. I didn't know anything about them till I researched Hoffa. I'll have to do some research myself. Let me copy this, put this on a tab. I'll look into it. Dominic, if you're very skilled at your job, you won't need a union to get ahead. Or you could start your own business. I think more people need to do that. More people need to look into what it takes for them to do something they enjoy doing. I feel like everybody's good at something, or at least they like to do something, even if they're not very good at it. And it doesn't take a whole lot to start your own job. And we have more resources than we've ever had in our whole life as far as advertisement and stuff. You know, back in the day, you had to have hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You had to try and put an article in the paper. You had to try and please your local TV stations to try and get an advertisement put on, you know, whatever channel, public TV or whatever. And now you don't have to have that. If you have like $7, you can post advertisements on Facebook for a week. And I think most people who run a business have $7, or they're willing to invest $7 in the success of their company. So I feel like now more than ever, you could start your own business and serve your community directly. One way or another. You can either do it online like I'm doing, or you could be in person selling peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to people who walk by. I think that right now we are more capable and have more resources to start our own thing and serve our own purposes and be a part of the community than ever before. So when I see people who are unhappy doing a job, I understand you have to make income, but a lot of times when I see unhappy workers, they either are not working full time, they think that they should be able to work 13 hours a week and pay for a mansion, or they're working as a dishwasher at a restaurant and they don't know why they can't afford rent. That most of the time, that's what I see. I mean, I was in a position where I was in a factory and I was making more money I've ever made in my life, and I was still poor and eating ramen noodles 3 times a day because I couldn't afford anything else. And that sucks. But at the same time, we have plenty of opportunity here. There's always a way. There's always a way. They do it strategically, though, because if every one American could afford a house off of a basic job, we wouldn't need the government. We wouldn't need them, and they can't have that. They make it so you have to have 2 or more working adults in a household in order to survive, or you won't survive. And so when you get to that point where you're like, well, I don't have anyone to live with, and I can't afford to live myself, like, you know, support myself, food stamps and stuff from DHS and government money. And that's what they want. They want you to need help from the government. That's what they want. That's why they abolished the whole family thing. They haven't abolished it, but you know what I mean. They're tearing apart families. You don't never see families anymore being portrayed on anything. You used to watch the Brady Bunch and things like that, where it was all about family and keeping your family members in check. And, oh, Timmy, don't go out there and smoke crack. Oh, you know, Rhonda, don't go out there and join Antifa. Your family won't approve of that. Things were all based off being a family and keeping your family whole. And even as a community where it was full of families and people who valued having a family, if there was a family in town that wasn't doing well, or somebody that was a part of a family that wasn't doing well or purposely making bad decisions, all of a sudden they didn't have any friends. They didn't have anybody who wanted to hire them as an employee, because everyone in town knew this one person was out there doing bad stuff while everybody else was focused on family. If you have a family, you're a part of a family, you're protecting your family, you live in a community of people who value having families, it's a lot harder to corrupt what's going on in town because you're self-sustaining. You can make everything work, you can function together, but they're destroying families because then they can allow the corruption to come in. Why do you think they promote all the rainbow stuff? Because it's not self-sustaining. You can't have 2 of the same kind create more. That's not how that works. You have to have 1 of each to create more, to prolong the life of humanity. It's all structured to be that way. They're doing away with families, and it's ruining our country. It is ruining our country. When you look at young people, they don't want to grow up and get married and have kids and have a dog and a house. People want to grow up to be bad bitches. They want to go out there and sell feet pics. They want to be slinging drugs and living like Al Capone and stuff. Like, nobody cares about what's good and bad. They just are selfish and stupid at the same time. And it's ruining our country. It is ruining our country. At least that's what I believe. Matthew, Little House on the Prairie. We're so far from that now. Let's see. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom. Salty Ragu, my spirit animal is a cockroach. I will survive. I like that attitude. That's awesome. What's up, Matthew? Happy Freedom Month. Mark, I don't remember crack smoking in the Brady Bunch. I mean, I didn't watch the Brady Bunch, but I knew they wouldn't be happy if little Timmy was out there smoking crack behind the shed with Hunter Biden. Patriots Art. Mark Dice is going hard on the diversity BS. I'm not sure who that is. I'll have to look that person up. I do so much research. By the time we're done live, I got 3 or 4 tabs of new information I've never heard of, and I go and research it while I'm doing the replay and everything. Happy Freedom Month, Impreza. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. T's problem, reaction, solution. Yep. Right. Well, at this point, the government comes in with they use the media. They'll say, this is a big, scary problem. And all of us look at each other and we're like, I've never experienced that as a problem. It can't be that big of a problem. And then they come out the next week. This is the solution to the big scary problem, and you'll be a part of the solution or you're a part of the problem. And then it's like, oh, okay. We realize most of us are just the problem. And now we got to act different and behave differently and talk differently and move differently, or else we're a part of the problem. That's how communism is slipping in. That's exactly how they're getting us. Mark, there may have been some crack smoking in good times. They were all doing it behind the scenes. That's what was going on. They were back there doing blow like Hunter. Actually, I think that's what's next on the list, is talk about what happened at the White House yesterday. Weird, the chat just disappeared for a moment on the secret YouTube channel. Small businesses got locked down during the plague. Yeah, Michigan had it worse than any other state. I know the UK was bad. I remember hearing that. Cecil, anyone remember sleep for dinner? Oh, I did. You do this or you go to bed hungry. That's all I remember. Just reading through the chat really quick before we move on to this next video. Rasta, they want us to go off. Oh yeah. Yep, they want us to look like France so they can come in and control us with martial law. I don't know. I don't see what else the plan is. They're not going to let us just be chaotic and burn the country down and just, well, we'll wait for it to get over. That's not what's going to happen. They want everyone to be so uneasy that they just snap. And when they do, the government will be right there to tell us what to do. That's the whole plan. That's why they got to break us down as a society. And it starts with the family. Oh, just a moment. Without family, you don't have very much of a community. Because everyone's paying attention to their phone and themselves. They're not paying attention to each other. So if you don't have a community, you don't really have a society. So when the government comes in to tell you what to do, oh, we're all going to stick together? Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. They're breaking us down bit by bit. Matt, it's against the law to call a girl a girl. Yeah. Yeah, it is, unfortunately, here in Michigan. Flea market floppy disk. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the live. I've actually been covering that new law being passed for over a week now. It's now everyone's catching on, but I've been saying for like 10 days, like, hey, they're going to pass this thing in Michigan. I can't remember when it was, Thursday or Friday it got passed, or maybe it was Saturday. I don't know. From that point on, I'm just Your Majesty, or you can go do 5 years in prison. We're going to do that. And if people don't like it, let's bring free speech back. I'm going to end up doing something. I'm going to do something. There's going to be some sort of fallout. I'm going to end up on the news. They'll be like, this guy who goes by Your Majesty was in Walmart throwing eggs at people, screaming and yelling about free speech. Something about supporting the Orange Eagle. Anyways, we're going to move on to this next video. This is from Twitter. I'm going to be the first person to show an actual video of this. Everybody's been talking about it, but nobody's been showing videos of it. The White House was temporarily evacuated on Sunday after D.C. fire hazmat found a substance that tested positive for cocaine hydrochloride near the West Wing. I've never heard of cocaine hydrochloride. I assume that's just regular cocaine. Maybe it's super cocaine. Maybe it's got a little fentanyl in it. God only knows, but let's get her started.
So we do have a situation. Apparently it's a hazmat on West Executive. There goes the Secret Service command vehicle. Oh, down there, guys. There we go. That's West Executive. And the hazmat crew has deployed on West Executive. That is the road between the White House and the Eisenhower building. And that's where the hazmat team is deployed. Okay, so we have a full hazmat response going down West Executive. That's kind of rare, yeah. That's the road that's right next to the West Wing.
Special Record Hazmat, we have a result on the demo. We have a yellow bar stating cocaine hydrochloride. Task number 53 back too.
Okay, guys, that is the end of the story. There was a cocaine hydrochloride, which is a local anesthetic, but I guess some people abuse it. I'm not sure what the whole details are. They found it, I guess, next to the West Wing over on West Executive. But there's a Secret Service statement that's been put out. I haven't seen it yet. I'll try to get that up, put it on my post later today. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll show you more of Washington. Thanks for watching.
Yep, so that's Penguin 6, although that's not where I found it. Found a little cocaine over in front of the White House. Hunter's all cussing and stomping his feet. He's like, dang it, I knew I dropped it somewhere. Dropped it right there in the lawn. Matthew KJP's wig fell off. Sulfur leaking. Yep, you can see her devil horns. T-Law and Hunter straight slamming. That's what everybody in the comments is saying. They're like, must be Hunters. Must be. Redhead from New York. Hunter's getting a delivery. He was. They intercepted it. Mark Bass. I've never tried cocaine. I've never tried any of that stuff. I've never tried any hard drugs at all. What's up, Sid? Happy Freedom Month. Appreciate you being here. Larry Hunter Cheese. Yeah, it's his parm. They found his parm stash. What's up, Low Tech? Happy Freedom. Nefties. He forgot his Coke at the White House. Yeah. Drugs ruin your brain. He forgot where he left it at. And then they evacuated the White House. They brought in the hazmat team. Put the whole district on lockdown because they found Hunter's stash. Tease. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yep. He's got his brain wrecked. Dreyful Ed. I tried it and it smelled funny. You guys crack me up. You hooligans. Pumpkin, it was dropped off for Hunter. I mean, what else was it? You think somebody went out and bought a bag and then just launched it over the fence? Here, White House. This is to support Hunter. John the China White House. Yep. Robert fell out of old man Walter's diaper. Landed on the lawn. Tease. YouTube just cut you off. I don't know. I think YouTube's doing something weird. On the other YouTube channel, the chat went blank for a minute. Alright, we're going to move on to this last video here titled Trucking Lawsuit Threatens U.S. Economy. Our Industry Truly Moves America. A lawsuit including the Yellow Freight Company. We'll see. Maybe we're going to end up with shortages again. You're going to see people out there buying toilet paper by the cartload again. What's up, Wild Turkey? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Now fighting for the livelihood of our 30,000 employees, we will do all we can to save these American jobs. While union leaders come and go, Yellow has been around a century. Responsible leaders work together to create opportunities and maintain jobs. We simply cannot let these jobs in this company go without taking a stand.
That was Yellow CEO Darren Hawkins on the fight to keep his trucking business alive. The nation's third largest trucking company is suing the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, alleging a breach of contract and blocking efforts to modernize the company. Hawkins says 30,000 jobs are on the line if the labor union does not cooperate and come to the table to negotiate. He joins me now. Darren, let's talk about this lawsuit and exactly what happened. To make it clear here, why, in your opinion, will the Teamsters not come to the table at all and negotiate with you?
Hey, good morning. And certainly every action that Yellow takes is in the interest of protecting our 30,000 employees, our 200,000 customers, and our shareholders. The disagreement has been over the modernization of the company. The first phase went in over 8 months ago and had union alignment. The second phase has not had union alignment, and that's brought us to where we are today, with an immediate need to negotiate and to open and not only talk about modernization, but also keeping the company competitive moving forward by raising wages and addressing all employee concerns. And the union leadership, on the behalf of our employees, our request is to get to negotiations immediately.
I spoke with your lawyer last week on Fox Business, and there is this train of thought, not from your attorney, but there's this kind of train of thought out there that the Teamsters want you to go out of business. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, when I think about that, our employees want the company to be here. We've got over 14 years of tenure across that employee population. Our customers definitely want us to be here. Even with all the noise around the company, our shipment counts have held up, and that's crucial for us to work through this period while we're getting to negotiations. I think bottom line, it's a very busy summer for union transportation negotiations. We didn't plan to be part of that, but because of the halt of our modernization efforts, we are part of that now. And our employees are just as important as any of the others. And bottom line, I believe we can get the right things done by getting to the table.
To be clear, 30,000 employees, 22,000 are union members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. So if they push this, this means that 8,000 jobs disappear because of them. You've sent a letter to President Biden. You're requesting assistance with the negotiations. You say it's what's right for our workers' jobs, America's fragile supply chain, and American taxpayers' investment in Yellow. Have you gotten an adequate response or any response from the White House?
Yes, the Biden administration has been responsive to help us work through this, and I'll make it clear that we're not asking for anything except the ability to negotiate. The Biden administration believes in collective bargaining, and as the largest unionized LTL carrier in America, along with being the 5th largest trucking company in America, we certainly support the collective bargaining process. And we want to allow all of our employees that are represented by the union to go through that process, their voices be heard, and pursue a ratification that allows the company to modernize and also increase wages over the period of the next few years.
We're looking at shares of Yellow Corporation, 69 cents, below $1, a threat of delisting. Darren.
Yeah, from an equity standpoint, that's a product of where we're at. We've got a solid business plan that's been backed by our lenders and the United States Treasury. Bottom line, to link with that, the only part of the recipe we're missing is a ratified union contract that aligns with the modernization of the company and also meets the needs of our employees and allows us to be competitive in hiring over the next several years. That's what we're after. There's a solution here. There's a path forward. And by the way, the U.S. Treasury has 30% of the company, so that equity is also important to every American taxpayer. Loans are fully collateralized. We have the opportunity to move forward in a very productive way, but we need to get to the table, work these things out, and the bottom line, the corporate finance piece will work itself out.
Darren, how will this impact the nation's supply chain if Yellow goes out of business?
Well, when you look at a company that's doing around 13 million shipments a year, today our employees are out there picking up and delivering over 90,000 shipments. That's important. You can go back to 2021 and remember when store shelves were empty, that there was a lack of just the normal goods and services that people needed on a daily basis. And the presence that Yellow has in the marketplace is extremely important, and there's no reason for us not to be there. Our customers want us here, our employees want us here, and bottom line, we're servicing the American economy on a daily basis. Trucking truly moves America.
Darren Hawkins, thank you so much for being here. Please come back and keep us posted on this story that we've been covering here at Fox Business, and we wish you and your company the best. Darren Hawkins, thank you, sir.
On behalf
Well, they're going to disrupt our supply chain is what it sounds like. I don't know. Something sounds off about the whole deal, though. They're not really putting out there what it is that is causing the issue, why they can't come to an agreement or even negotiate. They're just saying, like, basically they're being treated unfairly and being threatened to be delisted so people won't use their services. I don't know. Something weird is going on. That's what it feels like. That's what my gut's telling me. Cash flow, it's all by design? I think so too. Salt Ragu strike, I dare you, please. I don't know if they would go on strike. That would hurt us. That would hurt us. If, well, not just them, but if multiple trucking agencies went on strike, that would be rough. Shaggy, they need diesel. I haven't heard anything about diesel shortages in a while. I know that was a thing, and now they don't talk about it. Happy Freedom Month 24/7. Appreciate you being here. Cash flow. Old Man Walter is America last. He is. Old Man Walter doesn't care about the company. Old Man Walter doesn't care about much. Doesn't care about much. Shaggy, Old Man Walter's involved. Oh no. It's corrupt too. Yep. I am. Anything on the UPS strike? I haven't heard any more about it. We covered a video where they were talking about going on strike, that they were like in the process of doing that, but I haven't heard any more since then. Captain Seamus, you don't think yellow drivers are the brightest bulbs? I'm trying to think. When I made road repair products at this company I was working at, we used to have to call freight drivers all the time, but I don't remember if we used yellow or not. Dominic, we hire private truckers at our company. We don't have to deal with all the union crap. Yeah. Cash flow, it's Pete Buttigieg's fault. He's not good at his job at all. It's weird how all these things keep popping up where Buttigieg is a part of it. Just reading through the chat real quick. What's up, Nikki? Happy Freedom. John, they're going to blame Trump? Probably. Cash flow, you're all stocked up on toilet paper. We'll see how it goes. We start getting shortages and stuff. They probably will blame the Orange Eagle. Captain Seamus posted what you think of this on Gilded. Yep, everybody should join Gilded. It's free. It's not just free. There's all kinds of resources and hooligans there 24/7. So you can stay connected to what's going on, especially if you don't use Twitter. If you don't use Twitter, the next best thing is definitely join Gilded so you can be up to date on what's going on. High Plains Drifters, so we're boycotting yellow? No. No, they're in some sort of lawsuit and they're on the brink of not being used as a service anymore. They said it's going to affect, like, I don't know if they said 30,000 employees or 300,000 employees. A lot of people. It's going to affect a lot of things and it could disrupt the supply chain. Patriots Ark, it's not possible. They made laws to stop trucking companies from holding the country at hostage. They stopped that real quick. Yeah, that would put us in a spot. Eagles RC, the stock popped up 37% today. I was wondering that when I was screening the video before I put it on the schedule, if them being on the news was going to make their stock increase. I was wondering if that's what was going to happen. Cash flow, I've been noticing the shelves going bare. I haven't been able to drive my car in 2 weeks, so I haven't noticed anything except for the inside of my apartment and Klaus Danielson over here. That's all I've been noticing. I'm supposed to be able to take my car in on the 11th, but then they're going to keep it for 3 or more days. So I'll be working on 3 weeks without a car, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Captain Seamus, the company isn't the problem, the Teamsters are. Well, they better get stuff figured out. I don't want to experience shortages, especially while I don't have a vehicle. We can be free. Did you see our king started 2030 countdown? No, I don't know anything about that stuff. Nope. But that did remind me of something. I'm trying to think what it was. I can't remember. Just flipping through the chats really quick. Trigger Crazy Trudeau's trying to ban TP. What, you Canadians gonna have to use the thumb? You'll have to use the 3 shells, like in Demolition Man? I need to watch Demolition Man, because it feels like that's what we're living in. We're living in that kind of world. Mark, what's wrong with the car? Cylinder 3 is misfiring. They don't know if it's the coil or what. They replaced the spark plug. It's a little better, but it chugs and hesitates and runs like crap when I first start it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's like I take it in the shop like every 2 weeks, and I only drive it twice a week or something like that. So something's going on. But they said when I drop it on the 11th, when I drop it off, they're going to take it all apart and they're going to try and figure out what's going on. And they said they're going to do it at their expense, because I keep taking my car there to get fixed over and over and over again. Dominic, it's not throwing up codes. I have a code reader, but it's not throwing up codes. Debacles, I bought 300 cases of chips. Oh, I brought 300 cases of chips into a store the other day. Had to do 2 trips in a box truck. That's crazy. 300 cases. I was in an elevator union for almost 20 years. They push you to vote blue team, and they're super crooked. F unions. Yeah, I don't know much about unions. We could be free. Wake up. What do you mean? Because I don't know what's going on in the UK? That's across the world from me. How am I supposed to know what's going on in the UK? I hate when people say that. I sit here and cover the news. That's my whole life, is covering the news and providing a live to you guys. And people are like, you need to wake up. How much news do you think I could take in? How many countries am I supposed to care about? Like, jeez. Trying my best, damn it. It's really easy to talk shit on that side of the screen. Alright, hooligans, that's all the coffee I had for you guys today. Let me drop this link really quick. We're going to do the spiel deal, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Captain Seamus, I just get all new plugs, wires, cap, rotor, coil pack, crank position sensor. I just had it all redone. We did the head gaskets. We serviced the car. We did the head gaskets like 14 months ago, and the timing belt. And I've had the car serviced twice since then. I mean, everything should be new. I mean, maybe the coils aren't new, but I don't know. They're supposed to tell me what's going on when I drop it off on the 11th. Plus, there's a lot of stuff that's under warranty because I've had so many repairs. So, hopefully I won't have to pay anything. They already said it's going to be at their expense unless there's stuff that needs to be fixed that they didn't break. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm tired of having problems with my car all the time, though. It sucks. Alright, hooligans, when you guys get a second, click on that link that I just posted. It's also in the description. Go to the link tree. All of my links are listed on the link tree, so if you want to check out all the different platforms we go live, or make a donation, or join membership programs or anything, you can find all of that on there. But I want you to scroll down and find the button to join Gilded. Gilded is free and currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live. Every time we go live, there's a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world, and it's full of stuff that I'm not able to show on YouTube. There's also a ton of hooligans in there, chat around the clock for you to hang out with. So definitely go join Gilded. Also on the link tree, you can find links for the merch store. If you'd like to grab some merch, we have shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and other specialty items. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black, but if you find something you like, just click on that item to see all the different colors that that item comes in. You can also find links for PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, and Locals if you would like to help support what I do. There's also a link to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me stuff. It's really easy to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent straight to me without having to send emails, find addresses, or keep track of tracking numbers. You don't have to do any of that. It's really simple to use. And then finally, we have links for the membership programs. We have memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. And at the very top of the link tree there, you can claim a free week membership, no strings attached. We're not going to charge your credit card or anything like that. It's just a free week for you to check out all the cool stuff we're doing over on the website. If you have a membership for jeffmaclive.com, you'll have access to your own profile for our private social media area. You'll have access to our group chat rooms and group pages. You'll have access to our live streaming area with the built-in chat. And you'll have access to our advanced messaging system with the ability to text, call, video call, group text, group call, group video call, and the ability to upload all versions of digital media, so MP3s, MP4s, digital documents, slideshows, anything and everything that's digital can be uploaded on the website. If you want to network with hooligans or just show off cool stuff on your profile, you're able to do so. JeffMacLive.com is the home of the hooligans, so go join up right now. All right, hooligans, you know what time it is. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. I'm going to read through chat really quick, and we're going to wrap this up. I really appreciate all of you guys being here and being so awesome today. Dominic, you cracked me up. Let's see. Hey, I appreciate you, T. Lawden. Captain Seamus, good shop, will take care of what they fixed before. Yeah, I mean, I just took it down there to get fixed, and they were like, you shouldn't be having as many problems as you're having. On our dime, we're going to take it all apart. We're going to figure out what's going on. We're going to put it all back together. And if there's anything specifically that needs to be fixed, we'll talk about what it'll cost and all of that. But they were like, we need to figure out what's going on here. Because I've taken it to the shop 4 times for the catalytic converter light, and we've done everything. And that's only part of the problem. Now I'm getting this misfiring stuff that just came out of nowhere. It just makes no sense. I barely drive the car, and when I do drive, I don't even go any farther than like 65 miles away. And it's, you know, it's too little of driving. It's like I drive it 4 times in between trips to the shop. And it's not, something's wrong. So I'm glad that they're going to try and fix it. It's inconvenient to go 3 weeks without a car. It really sucks. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Daryl. Salt a ragu, just put a rag in the gas tank and find a lighter. If I had enough money, we'd be doing fireworks tomorrow. Hey, I appreciate you, Liberty Sweetheart. Thank you for being here, and you be safe out there as well. Hey, thanks for being here, Shaggy. High Plains Drifter, I like that shirt. Going to get one of those. Heck yeah. Awesome. This was the first shirt that we put out, was the Hooligan shirt. This is going 3 years strong. I need to buy a new one. I'm starting to wear this one out. The print is good. It's not flaking. That was the first thing I was worried about, is to have the flaking image. These shirts don't do any of that. But I'm wearing it out. You can start seeing like the fabric underneath. 3 years though. Being washed, you know, once or twice a week, depending on how much we go live. I do like the merch. It is a decent quality. Let's see. Whoops. Scrolled right off the page. Snooks, yes, we're going to be gaming tonight. We will be gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on JeffMAC Gaming. You can find that link on the link tree. It's on YouTube. Well, we'll be live on YouTube, Kick, and jeffmaclive.com for gaming. jeffmaclive.com has all the lives, no matter what we're showing. If I'm live, you can see it on the website. What's up, Dem Lady? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you stopping in. Let's see. Just flipping through the chat. Everything looks good though. All right. I really appreciate all of you hooligans. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.